Okay, how did ESPN come about? This is crazy to me.
So I finished
And PTI's in D.C., so I'm really confused by this. Tell me about this.
Well, I finished grad school, or I was finishing grad school in April or May of 2004 or something. And I get a letter in the mail from Fannie Mae saying, here's how much you owe for student loans for graduate school. And
for Fannie Mae?
Yeah, or whatever it was. And
they might be off the books now.
Yeah. Don't worry, they gave it to another bank.
Son of a bitch.
Yeah. Oklahoma Student Loan Association. And so
that's so random.
Yeah.
Oklahoma Student Loan Association.
Yeah. I owe them thousands of dollars.
They're made out like bandits.
Yeah.
So, the Big Short, too, about the Oklahoma Student Loan Exchange.
Oh, that would be so nice if we took them down before I had to finish my loans. So August 1st or something, they're like, you have to start paying, $300 a month to pay off your student loans. And I was in L.A. I was about to get a manager for a screenplay I'd written in grad school with somebody else.
You had a manager.
Yeah, we had a man. And instead of going that route and be like, oh, I just spent all this money to become a screenwriter in L.A., I freaked out. I heard that there was a job opening in D.C. because I was like, you know what? I'm going to go to D.C. and get a real job because I want to, pay off these student loans.
Wow. So you had an opportunity to get a manager. You had this debt. You were worried, and you let the manager go and moved it. Wow.
Yeah, well, I kept the manager, and they kind of, we talked. But, eventually when you're living in D.C. and you're working in sports 8 hours a day, the writing starts to
falls to the wayside.
Falls to the wayside. So
that's how I feel about writing. I work all these odd jobs. I don't have.
Yeah.
You don't have the time to write. It's tough. Yeah.
No.
It's that dichotomy. It's like you got to work to survive, but you got to do this to get into it.
We'll get you writing. You'll be writing.
Tell me, give me your pro tips. Give me the ways.
Maybe you could write at the end of this podcast. But
I got to go back to work.
It'll be scintillating.
I got to go back to work. Okay, so wait. So you found out there's a job opening in D.C. Big whoop. There's a bunch of job openings in D.C. and you're in L.A. How do you book it? How do you get this job?
Well,
for a show that is pretty popular.
I loved the show already. It'd been on for maybe a year and a half or so. I loved it.
Yeah, it was groundbreaking.
So my college buddy was working there, and he knew that a producer was going on maternity leave. And it turns out that the guy who created the show, Eric Rydholm, he was from Chicago. We went to rival high schools. He was older than me, but we knew each other. I didn't know him, but I knew his sister, and my brother and his sister were friends.
Okay.
And so we talked on the phone, and he was just a nice guy and just took a chance and
wow.
Yeah.
So you didn't even have to interview? You didn't fly out there to interview or anything? He was just
interviewed over the phone, and I might have, Eric, if you're watching or listening, I'm sorry, I might have made up how much Avid experience I had.
Avid?
Avid. The editing software.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah. So I'd used Avid at USC. And Avid was a huge part of editing at PTI.
Oh, funny.
And I was like, Avid expert. Don't worry about it. I got it.
That is so cool.
Yeah.
And so you moved to D.C.
Yeah.
And how long did you work that for?
About a year and a half.
That's so cool. And what were you doing for him, basically?
You
were a PA, right?
I was a PA and worked my way up to basically associate producer, which is,
So basically you're picking the stories and the content that they were going to talk about?
Yeah, in the morning we would all kind of take a region of the country, and I would look for some interesting stories, and then I'd help go into the edit bay and put together the clips, when the guys are talking.
Yeah.
You put together the packages of B-roll, and I'd put that together.
Dude, that is so cool. I would leave LA and work that for a year. That sounds so fun.
It was so much fun.
Because that's they filmed that right in the heart of DC, right?
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be so fun.
Yeah, we were next to the, at the time it was the MCI Center where the Capitals and Wizards play. Yeah.
I'm starstruck I'm envious of you. I don't care that you wrote a movie that did $300 million. I care that you worked on PTI for a year.
I was in a bullpen with Wilbon and Kornheiser.
Woo!
Yeah, it was awesome.
I love that. That is so cool.
Yeah, it was fun.
So, in retrospect, that's a completely different beast. I mean, live sports TV, but did that prep you for being on set for Mindy and things like that, or was it completely different muscle?
Completely different. I mean, it maybe in the morning you're in the bullpen and you're all talking about the news stories, and Tony and Mike come in and they're screaming at each other and having their arguments, and so that's going to be what the show is.
Right.
So in a way, there's a little bit of a writer's room in there where there's back and forth about ideas.
Yeah.
But they're pretty different beasts.
Yeah. And it's kind of I guess it'd be a multicam almost, right?
The
comparison.
Yeah. I mean, because it's more. Yeah, it's a taping of a show.
Right.
Yeah.
So you also worked for a couple other ESPN properties, yeah?
Yeah, so I went in PTI. The offices are next to each other. I did PTI and Around the Horn.
Oh.
Yeah, which are it's one production company and
Right.
mostly the same.
So you worked on them at the same time?
Yeah, well, I kind of like I went from PTI to Around the Horn because someone was leaving Around the Horn permanently. And the maternity leave woman was coming back to PTI, so I went to Around the Horn.
Did you work for Rome too?
Yeah, then I moved back to LA because I missed the writing. I wanted to get back here.
Here we go.
In order to pay the bills, I found that Jim Rome was hiring like another editor.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah, so I worked in Orange County where they shoot Jim Rome.
Oh, that was in OC?
Yeah.
Oh, geez, that sucks.
That'd be in Orange County.
Like an hour drive every day?
Yeah, like 6 a.m.
Oh.
Yeah, but it was pretty good because we finished every day, I think, at 2. So
that's perfect.
Every afternoon, I'd go back and I'd write at Ike's house every afternoon, and that's how we wrote CI.
That's a really fun story. I'm very envious of that story.
I'm glad I had a fun story.
That's it. Cut. We're done.
We've been talking
Wrap
for
it.
a half hour. It's the first time you've said that.